for illegal guns, money, drugs. This is something they do, as I said, routinely at pretty much all transit hubs.
The shooter got into it with cops while officers were detaining someone else to see their hold up and battery in the stone bed. President Biden is blaming Republicans in Congress for stalling legislation to raise the government's debt limit. He says Republicans raised the national debt 3 times during the Trump presidency, but now they're refusing to do it.
It is, as I said, playing Russian roulette. Play these games. We can do it this week. Just get out of the way and let us pass it.
He says if the debt limit is not extended by the October 18th deadline, it will be catastrophic for the economy. Facebook says it is dealing with its worst outage in more than 12 years. As you heard John and Ken talking about just a few minutes ago, John's very, very upset about this, by the way. ABC's Derek Dennis says the outage has also knocked out service to Instagram and WhatsApp.
Blamed on a worldwide outage of Facebook's DNS servers, which essentially means all of its platforms stopped existing on the internet. In its latest statement, Facebook offers sincere apologies to everyone impacted.
The platforms have been down since this morning. More than 3 billion users around the world are being affected. We're going to go back to that crash on the 22 in Garden Grove.
Well, this one is just a huge mess. A little bit of good news for the afternoon. They have cleared this wreck on the westbound side of that 22 coming up on Euclid. But don't worry, traffic's still there, as you know. You're sitting in the backup, rolling from the 5, slowly rolling, that is. Let's head out to Rolling Heights with Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, superlayer.com.
Yeah, Angel, they're rolling slowly on the 60 eastbound, just approaching the 57 at Mount Brea Canyon. Looks like that is a problem with a big rig in the 2 middle lanes. So extra tight now on Apothea Heights here, back through Fullerton Road. Up the head, you just some on and off stuff through Chino into Ontario. It's actually loosened up a bit on that stretch. They're talking about a pothole coming up on the 210. Now, they're saying it's 210 eastbound around Vernon, but I'm starting to see the backup on the westbound side. So I think that might be on the westbound side. So it's 210 west around Vernon. They're talking about a pothole in the right lane, and that's quickly backing up through Citrus. Injured in an accident? Visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
And the drive in downtown LA, it's a wreck on the 101 northbound. This is at 4th Street. Left lane's blocked. Delays opposite 60. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This hour of the John and Ken Show is brought to you by AIS, Auto Insurance Specialist. Visit AISinsurance.com today.
May see some rain. We'll talk about that next.
Well, you've heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast. Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy properties. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $20,000 cash advance, which will help with moving costs when you sell with Sunday. Go to Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. Get a free no-obligation cash offer at Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday is a California licensed real estate broker, DRE license number 020-88298.
Want a new set of wheels without spending hours at car dealerships? Download the Roto app. That's RODO. You can browse thousands of vehicles from your phone, buy a car in minutes, and even have it delivered. Plus, Roto finds every discount available, so you know you're always getting the best price, with no hidden fees. Listen, if you're ready to buy a car, make it easy on yourself and go with Roto. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's RODO.com.
The KO5 Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed down 324, S&P 500 down 57, NASDAQ down 311, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.40.
Bay Alarm is celebrating 75 years of innovation and personal service that's second to none.
Southland weather from KFI. We do have a chance of showers and a slight chance of thunderstorms tonight. We have a slight chance of showers again in some places tomorrow morning. Then it will be sunny. Highs upper 70s for Metro LA, mid 70s to low 80s for the valleys, upper 70s to low 80s in inland, OC, and the IE. Right now it's 76 in Dana Point, 85 in Anaheim, 92 in West Hills, and 87 in Sherman Oaks. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
John Cobelt and Ken Champeau, KFI Am 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, stand by for updates from KFI News, of course, on the big story, and that's the oil spill off the coast of Orange County, about 9 miles off Huntington Beach, which people began to sniff a little bit Friday night. Thought it was like bad farts, and some people got headaches already. There were complaints made to Huntington Beach police and other public offices, but it wasn't until Saturday that the company got on trying to stop the pipeline leak, and that's what it turned out to be, which they said they have done, but there's still a lot of questions to be answered, and of course the beaches will be closed for the time being till they clean up the mess there. We'll have a full report at 5 o'clock with John, our team coverage.
Right, team coverage, right.
Our team coverage is, so far, too, the wildlife damage has been minimal, which is a good thing, but we just don't know if that will hold. Now, we move over to the vagrants. You know, this time it involves history on the John and Ken show. A politician who is now an LA City Council member, who has been talked about in this show, I wouldn't say since our inception, but this goes back sometime into the 1990s. It's one Bill Gil-Cedillo, who became two Bill Gil-Cedillo. He originally, of course, was driver's licenses for illegal immigrants when he was a state legislator, but like the rest of them, because you get turned out, you have to bounce around between taxpayer jobs, and now he's on the LA City Council. And his district includes MacArthur Park. And it's in the news now because starting on October 15th, just over 10 days away, they're going to clear the homeless out, they say. But they want to make it very clear. It'll be nothing like Echo Park Lake. We will not do that.
Well, what are they going to do? You either clear them out or you don't.
In fact, I think Cedillo it says here, he's prepared a contrast chart to differentiate the approach to MacArthur Park with the closure of Echo Park. Oh, by the way, they're not closing down all of MacArthur Park, and they're not. It doesn't look like the homeless or there's as many there from what I see in the story.
Well, what they have is they have the Maris Salvatrucha gang, which owns the park.
Last time we talked about MacArthur Park, we talked about MS-13. So that takes down everybody just to hang out in the park.
Including the homeless.
Including the homeless, yes.
So Cedillo has allowed what should be one of the most beautiful parks in the city to be taken over by a vicious, bloody gang. I don't know why he's never answered to that. You think they would have sent the police in by the thousands to clear out MS-13 once and for all, because MS-13 actually kills people.
Yeah,
they don't just run drugs.
Well, you know, he says he talked to the residents of the area who cited maintenance and public safety as their top priority. So they're going to clear out the gang members too, or well, I don't know that they camp in there.
They had 160 that they've moved out of the park. They've been doing this gradually all year, but there's 45 left.
Yeah, that's what Cedillo says. That's the difference between this and Echo Park Lake. They've been doing this for a long time to move them out.
And
60 left, did you say?
45 left. They got rid of 160. They claim they got moved
that's
into
better than
housing.
the 210 at Echo Park Lake.
Yeah, I think in total they must have had over 200.
Right.
But I guess they've done it so slowly nobody's noticed. Jose Rodriguez is deputy district director for Cedillo, and says that it's the outreach efforts have been complicated by the presence of MS-13. Well, that's what the police are for. Somebody ought to tell this Rodriguez character that's why you get a lot of police, because they are paid and trained to handle gang members in case the gang members are getting in the way of the cleanup.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the gang problem isn't bigger than the homeless problem in that particular park. That's what I'm reading in a lot of stories.
Through extortion and violence, gang members intimidate regular visitors to the park.
Remember we did the story of that poor transgender woman that apparently, I don't know why she wants to hang out there, but she gets taken down just to pay money. Damn, 13 just to hang out in the park.
That finally got the LA Times interested in the story.
to the transgender.
Right, that's right. Before that, all the other residents in the area also were getting harassed and extorted and victims of violence, but it didn't matter to the LA Times.
It says they're going to spend $1.5 million, upgrade the lights, replant lawns, repair the irrigation systems, new park benches, but it may not reopen completely till January.
Well, like Echo Park Lake, between the criminals and the homeless, the park's been trashed.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying. And then, Cedillo allows it to get trashed the way Mitch O'Farrell allowed Echo Park Lake to get trashed, and then they want to parade for themselves when they finally clean it up. That's your job. Your job is to keep it clean. Your job is to keep the homeless out. It's to keep the gangs from taking over. That's your job from day one. And it's like, oh, aren't we heroes now? And, we're going to do this the right way. We're just clean out the park.
Yeah, you're right. The Times highlighted the fact that MS-13's especially brutal attacks have targeted transgender women who visit the park.
But there are a lot of residents in MacArthur Park that have been harassed and been victims of violent crimes.
Tom Bellino, a board member with the MacArthur Park Neighborhood Council, wrote on Twitter, "I will not stand by while another Echo Park happens here."
Oh, stop it. Who the hell is he?
Tom Bellino.
Tom Bellino.
These neighborhood councils sometimes.
Oh, they're
just as bad as the city council.
Oh, they're fanatics. They're crazy people. I'm not going to stand by. Good, you don't stand by. You're part of the problem. That's why gang members and homeless people have taken over what should be a beautiful park, because of crackpots like you.
Yeah.
Oh, he announces this on Twitter. Ooh, you're the big man. Look what I posted on Twitter. I'm not going to stand by. Okay, what are you going to do?
Hey, did you call into Sheriff Villanueva Sunday night and ask about why he hasn't gotten on your Brentwood?
No, I thought about doing that, but I didn't.
Yeah, you said Friday you were going to call.
I really wanted to. I even told my wife that over the weekend that I wanted to call up and talk to her.
Say when? You got to get to that.
Yeah,
have you driven by there lately, or?
Oh yeah, almost every day I drive by there.
Same disgusting.
Yeah. It was. In fact, we went by. I think Sunday, and it's disgusting, and it's not getting any smaller. I don't see any work being done. I don't know what the sheriff's up to here. Promised me twice on the air that it was going to get taken care of. Nothing's happening.
Well, as you know on this show, we call it the homeless industrial complex. Billions and billions of dollars spent and no dent in the homeless population. So a lot of people always ask, where does that money go? Well, the story we're going to talk about next doesn't come from Southern California, but it might as well. The New York Times is reporting on how certain people that run these organizations, these non-profits that take the money from the cities to, quote, provide homeless services. Well, you won't believe this one, and the guy never should have gotten the contract to begin with, but it's a good example.
And you multiply this story by 1,000. This is, it will explain this story, but you really ought to read it, because it will explain the whole homeless situation and where your billions of dollars of tax money are going.
It gives you an idea. Basically, they hire their relatives, everybody they know, lines their pockets.
I've been telling you that for years. Yes. But here's a detailed story. Maybe you'll believe the New York Times. It's coming up next on the John and Ken Show. KFI Deborah Marquez News.
Wildlife teams are searching all over Orange County for wildlife affected by the oil spill. A new poll shows overwhelming support for offering refuge in the U.S. to Afghans who worked with the American or Afghan government during the war in Afghanistan. China has flown 52 fighter planes toward Taiwan's air defense identification zone. It's the largest show of force in 3 days of sustained military aggression against the self-ruled island. We're going to go to the 10, and we will check in with the KFI in the sky next.
There's a big chance here, if you've been dithering about doing LASIK. I'm going to give you $1,300 off LASIK if you call right now. It's only for KFI listeners. The first 10 KFI listeners who call to Dr. Charles Manger at Saddleback Eye Center. Certificate for $1,300 off LASIK is yours. This is a big discount. If you're nearsighted, farsighted, you have astigmatism, you wear reading glasses, Dr. Manger can help you. You do the LASIK exam, then do the procedure. It takes 20 minutes. There's no pain. You walk out of there like I did with 20/20 vision or better in most cases. I'll give you a certificate for $1,300 off LASIK. You must be one of the first 10 KFI listeners to call now. Schedule a free LASIK exam. Call 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444.
Memorial Care Long Beach Medical Center is the only hospital in southern LA and Orange counties with Excelsius GPS, an advanced technology that improves accuracy, precision, and outcomes for spine surgery patients. Learn more at memorialcare.org/spine surgery.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow, highs mid-70s to low 80s. This report brought to you by Memorial Care Long Beach Medical Center. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. It's slow on the 10 in mid-city.
Looking at eastbound delays, we're going to back that up just getting out of Santa Monica. From Centinela, the drive remains slow across mid-city all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. It's out to Roland Heights for an update with Mike O'Brien. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com.
Hey, look, we've had some troubles here on the 60. E60 approaching the 57 is just about Brea Canyon. I think they're just turning out of the middle lanes on that big rig wreck, and it has wrecked the drive pretty much from Azusa. Now, Monday night football at SoFi Stadium, and if my calculations are right, this is the first time on a weekday we're going to have a full crowd there. So it's kind of a tester there, and it's going to be a tester getting there on a couple of freeways here. South 405 heavy, really way back by Skirball Center, down towards the airport and the stadium. And the northbound side of the 405, you've got a problem there claiming at Inglewood Avenue, and that's adding a slowing that starts way back at the 710 or so. So a little unusual there, and unusual on the 105 westbound. That's going to be heavy now, pretty much through that last 2-3 mile stretch approaching Prairie where they're exiting for the stadium. Injured in an accident? Visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Speaking of the game, East Arbor Vista is off limits between Hawthorne Boulevard and Prairie. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by Sam and Ash Injury Law.
If you find yourself in a situation where you're injured a little or a lot, this is so easy to remember. Sam and Ash avert a crash. Just in case, put this number in your phone. 800-304-2000. Call Sam and Ash, avert a crash. SamandAshLaw.com.
Many Wall Streeters are predicting the inflation plane is ready to take off. At Owning, we still have a few refi seats left, with 30-year fixed 2.75% rate in APR, with no closing costs on them. If the experts are right and the inflation plane flies high, APRs this low may be a distant dream. Don't mess around. Call 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com before the refi market flies completely away from you. Maybe the experts are wrong and rates don't go up any higher. But if they're right and the plane is flying with mortgage rates reaching the 4s, you'll kick yourself hard that you didn't grab a seat now. Don't be a dummy. Save the money.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call 8332-OWNING for a 30-year fixed refi with a 2.75% rate in APR today. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high-limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamaba.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, it's time for you to go solar. Fortunately, the good people at Sunlux left all the sales gimmicks behind to build a company that simply does solar better. Go solar today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
Have you received your free AAA full picture quote? It gives you a 360-degree view of your auto insurance quote. From premiums to coverages to discounts. Visit AAA.com/insurance to see how much you could save.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone, but you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Crazy Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Most Californians live within 30 miles from an active fault, and earthquakes can happen anywhere and any time in the Golden State. So, do you know how to protect yourself when an earthquake strikes? Make sure your home, workplace, school, and community are planning to practice how to drop, cover, and hold on during the Great Shakeout. This is an important safety drill. Learn more at shakeout.org. Shakeout Day is October 21st.
Rested, refreshed, and ready to rumble. Ramble.
This is a lot of fun.
Bill Handel returns. Mornings on KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Morning, the Johnny Kemp Show. John Cordell, Tim Champo, Kfi AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, well, you've heard the term on our show many times before, the homeless industrial complex. It's a ripoff of the old military industrial complex. It's the sinkhole where the money goes. Billions have been spent in California to, quote, end homelessness, to no effect. Homelessness rises. And we believe, and we've named it the homeless industrial complex, because we believe indeed it is a sinkhole that these so-called non-profits, which pay their executives big salaries and then spend the money on who knows what. The New York Times, in their big Sunday edition, did a story which can be summed up in one paragraph. And here it is. An investigation by the New York Times based on hundreds of pages of legal filings, business records, and tax documents, as well as interviews with homeless people, city officials, and shelter employees, found that under the cloak of charity, executives at nonprofits had collected large salaries, spent their budgets on companies that they or their families controlled, and installed relatives in high-paying jobs.
And the Los Angeles Times could write that story about L.A., except the L.A. Times covers up all the corruption in this city.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
Because you're right, this is being duplicated all around the country.
Oh, you just changed the names. That's the reason these people are getting involved in running these homeless nonprofits. It's to access all this tax money to pay themselves six, and in this particular case that the Times focused on, seven-figure salaries. They look at a guy named Jack A. Brown III. The first paragraph. He quit his job at a private prison company, and his former employer accused him of fraud. A few years later, Brown started a nonprofit to run halfway houses. A federal audit said he had failed to deliver key services. The New York State Comptroller concluded in another review that Brown had showed a disturbing pattern of ethical violations. None of this seemed to bother officials in New York City. Since 2017, as homelessness rose to record levels, the city, hold on to your hat here, awarded more than $352 million to a nonprofit run by Jack A. Brown III to operate shelters. Wow. Allowing him to earn more than $1 million a year. Millions more have gone to real estate companies in which he has an ownership interest. He also hired family members and gave employees perks such as gym memberships and cars. Now, we probably have dozens of Jack A. Brown III's here in Los Angeles. This is the template. This is how it's done. These guys have checkered, sordid financial histories or criminal histories in their past, but the cities don't care. And they give them access to, in this case, hundreds of millions of dollars of tax money. And you read
the
this.
Times has another great paragraph about other stories. One landlord started a nonprofit that handed out millions of dollars to real estate and maintenance companies that he and his family owned. A Bronx shelter operator was charged earlier this year with laundering kickbacks through a consulting company run by his family. A former board member of another homelessness organization is under criminal investigation after the city said the group paid millions of dollars to a web of for-profit entities that he secretly oversaw. You can see and I think the Times refers to it like this is journalist speak, self-dealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you take the money and you basically just enhance your own lifestyle or family members, all the connected people that you know. It's like, oh yeah, they're giving out millions for us to run these homeless things. Let's just Alert all our friends and let them in on the money.
Listen to this. The Times also found that a member of a politically connected Bronx family, Richard Iscadero Arroyo, was convicted of embezzling money from a housing organization in 2010. 2 years later, he's hired at a Bronx nonprofit that receives city homeless shelter contracts and became its chief operating officer. He's paid $423,000 a year by the nonprofit, who employs this guy's husband as a high-ranking executive. So the two of them are probably making $600,000-$700,000 a year, and he'd already been convicted of embezzling money. A Brooklyn-based charity was investigated. The city discovered that the chief executive, Matthew Okabayi, made more than $500,000 a year supervising his brother, who worked as the chief financial officer. And Okabayi's sister-in-law also was on the nonprofit board. So we can go on and on here, but you get the idea.
Yeah, homeless stories about Brown, and it's like, well, the city knew there were problems there. It said that back in 2017, they knew about Mr. Brown's financial entanglements, but they continued to pay millions to his organization, even after flagging concerns about the organization's spending in 2019 that required them hiring a forensic auditor last year.
What happened in New York years ago is decades ago actually, a judge ordered New York to provide shelter for everybody on the street. And you end up seeing a lot less homeless people in New York because they're under court order to find a place. So they have to pay these homeless shelters whatever it takes, right, to get the job done, because there aren't that many companies that want to do this. So the homeless shelters, these homeless nonprofits, have the city by the you-know-what. Charge them hundreds of millions of dollars, steal the money, and then give disgusting accommodations to the homeless.
Yeah, it says that some of these, there's all sorts of vermin infestations and mold in some of these buildings where they've stored the homeless. Because, yeah, if you want to slice off as much money for yourself as you can and your friends and stuff, you're not going to spend much of the actual housing. What's the point of that? It's less profit for you.
Yeah, so, you know, maybe someday the El Segundo Times will stop knob slobbering the Garcetti administration.
Yeah, they should take a closer look at some of these. And Sheriff Ian Waver's mentioned them every now and then. They seem a little suspicious.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them are rackets. A lot of them are stealing money. A lot of them have really questionable characters running the place, and everybody knows it. Everybody in government knows it. Everybody in the media knows it.
All right, we got more coming up.
John and Ken, KFI, Deborah Marquez News.
Officials are looking into whether a ship's anchor may have hit an oil pipeline on the ocean floor, causing that massive leak of crude into waters off the coast of Huntington Beach. The head of the company that operates the pipeline says they are sending out more divers. But Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer says Amplify Energy should not be allowed to do that.
The company should not be responsible for leading its own investigation with respect to the hundreds of millions of dollars of devastation that it did to our environment and our economy.
Spitzer says the company is only sending the divers down in an effort to protect itself. He is demanding an independent investigation into the cause of that spill. The news is brought to you by Cunning Dental. LA's Cool Neighborhoods program is coming to parts of the Valley, East LA, and downtown LA. The next phase will add about 2,000 trees and 60 miles of cool pavement, which is a coating that reflects rather than absorbs heat. Mayor Garcetti says LA is the first city in the country to test on-road use of cool pavement.
The work to cool down our neighborhoods, installing cool roofs, plant trees wherever we can, is underway. We have momentum, and we're going to push harder, do more, and accelerate it because this moment demands it.
Ventura County has a very rare visitor
who walked all the way from Oregon to get there. Wildlife officials confirm a gray wolf has made it the farthest south in California, that one of the animals has made it in 99 years. The last time it happened, a gray wolf was captured in San Bernardino County in 1922. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife received reports of wolf sightings in Ventura County 3 times between September 20th and 26th. Officials went to investigate and confirmed there were wolf tracks in the areas where the sightings took place. Jennifer Jones-Lee, KFI News.
Florida Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz has introduced the bill to learn more about school shootings. She says the School Shooting Safety and Preparedness Act would provide a complete picture of school gun violence with more accurate data.
Specifically, the law would create a school shooting definition, which currently does not exist in federal law. Right now, policymakers rely on media reports or outside groups to try to figure out the true state of school shootings in America.
She says the bill would also have the Justice Department provide detailed shooting reports with fatality statistics, shooter and victim demographics, shooter motivation, and the types of weapons used. We have a stall on the 405 in Lawndale.
Well, this one is along the northbound side. Coming up on Inglewood Avenue, it's a car that's stuck in the second lane from the left. And guess what, folks? It's too slow for the tow truck, so they've got to call in, or it's too low for the tow truck. They've got to call in a flatbed to scoop this car up and get them out of your way. Now, big delays are loading up for that 405 northbound. And overall slowing, getting away from, out of Carson, from just about Main Street. This is Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com.
There's a little problem in the Baldwin Park. 605 northbound, just approaching Valley Boulevard. They cleared to the right shoulder, and now it's kind of adding to a normal tough on and off drive, pretty much from the 105. Bit tougher on the southbound 605. That loads up pretty much from the 60 down through the 5.